Nation.
SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first. Then you act.
I have had some time to reflect back on not only this team and its accomplishments, but the whole Final Four and the situation. And, the last couple of weeks, you know, from the Big Ten tournament on, it seems like it was a blur. But I guess now I can give credit where credit is due. And honestly, I feel this team gave me every single drop that they had. Had some teams that have given me a lot, but this team, I want to say maxed out, but it came as close to maxing out as any team I've had. You know, Mexels gives me a ton of stats and the accomplishments, and but we all know those. You know, the regional was a big win to get to a Final Four. The Big Ten tournament and the Big Ten conference tournament were both important to me. And you know, this team has done something where we've, this group of guys has done something where we've won some of those Thanksgiving Day tournaments too, which we hadn't done in a while, you know, and all of a sudden now I think we won 3 in a row. The 32 wins, second most in school history, was big. I think anytime you get up there with setting history, it's important. What I loved is the Big Ten sends out some stats each week, and they send out stats of who's leading, you know, in points as a team, a lot of team stats, a lot of individual stats, and I think we led in 10 categories, and we're top 10 in the nation in 9 categories, including leading the country in assists. Our rebounding's been up there, but what's been different about this team, we had some offensive and defensive efficiencies that were great, and it's always good when you're good on both sides of the ball. Obviously, Cash has had one of the great seasons in MSU history, being a first-team All-American, being Big Ten Player of the Year, Big Ten Tournament Outstanding Player, the East Regional Outstanding Player, and has set Big Ten single season assist record. He's accomplished some things that not many guys have accomplished. But we were successful because of a lot of other guys that did some things too. And you know, McQuaid in the Big Ten tournament final versus Michigan had incredible games. Goins, of course, big shot against Duke. Aaron Henry and Gabe, you know, I thought Aaron played really well throughout the NCAA tournament. Gabe had the big game against LSU when we were in trouble. Tillman stepping up on both ends when Nick went down. And even Foster Lawyer, you know, having that big game against Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament. It seemed like everybody added something, which is great when you can do that with a team. Being at the Final Four for me this year was one of the great things, because it was fun to walk around town. You know, I went for my morning and evening jaunts, and to see so many Michigan State people proud to be Spartans. We've made no secrets about it. It's been a difficult year and a half around here, and a lot of people were hurting over the last few years, but not that a Final Four brings anything that saves anybody, but it did bring us closer together. I thought it brought our whole team, community, state closer together, and for that I was grateful to our players. I hope people realize that, you know, even across our whole campus, there's a lot of great things that our people are doing here to try to make sure that we become the greatest, safest university in the country, and maybe it can climb at to see it all come together for a Final Four. You know, that's where you get to see everybody doing their job, from our ticket people to our administrators to everybody, and it went so smooth this year. I don't know if it's the experience that we've had of being there many a times, or that everybody just kind of rallied around. When I looked at the Final Four this year, and I looked at the hotels and what they've done for the parents and what they've done for the players, it made me proud that I think Michigan State's been on the forefront. Not only that, because we've been to 8 of them in the last 20 or 21 years, but when you look at some of the things that happen, you get in that arena and there's 73,000 people watching, and I mean, some of that was, you know, Mark Hollis and what he did for our basketball in 2003, and how that started the ball rolling and being in these big arenas, which some people will argue is not the greatest. Some people would rather you be in a smaller arena. But I mean, for the Falderall, we stayed at a hotel. That hotel was a big host for the Super Bowl a year before, and just listening to them talk, I don't think there's any question that the Final Four is maybe the greatest sports spectacle in the nation. You know, of all sports, of anything, as far as they were talking about the pep rallies, they were talking about the number of people at games, the downtown hotels, what they did for us, the seating, you know, was another. Mark did a lot for the NCAA when he was chairperson, with getting our students in those end zone seats. All of those things had a little bit of Michigan State to it because of some of the people. The extra touches around the hotel, you know, having a room for the players, having a room for the parents. That was all Mark Hollis pushed, and when he was on the committee, and I think the total experience from even 15 to now was incredibly upgraded. And so I give the NCAA, and I give, you know, some of it to our institution.